Hey, James Rath here. Today I want to talk a little bit about the mission behind the content that I produce and why I do what I do. As of this year, I've been uploading content to this YouTube channel for 15 years. A lot of those old videos are private, and I've experimented with other channels, other types of content, other just endeavors in my youth. But as I became an adult, the mission of the content started to align. By no means do I have the largest channel, but at the same time, I've been able to really do some cool things thanks to producing content on this channel. When I was about 19 years old and I had finished high school and I was like going out to Los Angeles to pursue filmmaking and try to figure out like what it is that I wanted to make. At the time, it was like a lot of scripted content, but as people started asking me like, hey, why are your eyes shaking? Or why do your eyes move? Or, you're looking quite close to your screen in this video when you're looking at a device. People were curious, and I was pretty open about my own ocular conditions growing up, but I hadn't really talked about it very much on my YouTube channel. So I started talking about legal blindness, legally blind, being legally blind, and born with a different sight, really a lack thereof. Around this time, I was really trying to think, like, do people really want to see content about my eyes, or is there really like an audience for that? And at the time, there really wasn't much on YouTube in terms of like talking about blindness or visual impairments, or even just the experience that we as individuals with visual impairments have when we're doing things like experiencing technology or surfing or going on a road trip. By opening up, though, about my visual impairment, I managed to connect with others who had either visual impairments or were impacted by various degrees of blindness online. And I thought that was just the coolest thing. It formed this sense of community. And then I started learning about other content creators. And these other creators had other disabilities. And one who I'll note here, Ricky Pointer, she's a deaf vlogger, and she taught me a lot about what it's like to be deaf, what it's like to be hard of hearing, and how I could be making my content more accessible for her or her community. I'm still learning a lot every day, whether it's from climate change, accessibility, marginalized groups. But I really equate a lot of my willingness to learn, my willingness to listen, thanks to my visual impairments. So as I was making content on here, I was connecting with more of my community. I really learned what it's like to see different. So not only do I see different visually, yes, because there's a spectrum of blindness, and people with various degrees of blindness see in different ways, but I learned how to see different from other people. This kind of goes back into the mission of my channel, which is I want you to see different. If you've made it to the end of any of my videos, hopefully, maybe, if not, that's okay. But you've probably heard me say, I hope you could see different. My mission every day when I wake up is, how can I see different today? What can I learn? What can I explore? Who can I learn from? It continues to be rooted back into the content that I produce. I'm happy to share today that this mission to see different, to learn from others, and to grow as an individual, and hopefully maybe you want to grow along with me, is going to continue. It's going to expand. And this is thanks in part because I am having a new podcast premiering today. The See Different Show is a podcast where I'll be speaking with individuals who actively see things with a different perspective. I'll be chatting with entrepreneurs, artists, designers, and more as we chat within topics of accessibility, entertainment, technology, and their careers. I want to hear from motivational people and people who are actively trying to see different and change the world. I'm really excited to share these stories and conversations and in hopes that it motivates not just you, but I as well. The very first episode includes a recording artist who's signed by Sony, and she's blind. She's quite incredible. Her activism is just amazing, and she's doing some incredible work to really help revolutionize the music industry and make it a more accessible place for people to work and collaborate. Here's a quick highlight from this episode.
One of the things that I try to recommend to folks is always understand and do your best to accommodate the needs of the individual you're working with. So if someone lets you know, hey, I have a certain issue or a certain thing that I need or a certain thing that I want, make that effort to accommodate, because firstly, that individual went through a lot to be able to get to the point where they're okay to just let you know that. And we don't want every step of our life to be some big hurdle for advocacy. Let's just tell you and you just do it. And if for whatever reason you're unsure, uncertain, or you feel uncomfortable, or you want to make assumptions, you really just want to ask the person.
If you'd like to listen to the rest of that podcast, be sure to go to seedifferent.co or just follow the links in the description. As excited as I am for the See Different show, and I really hope that you take a listen to it and join us for future episodes, I get a lot of comments from people who are either just discovering the channel, maybe they followed me for a while and either just missed me mentioning it in a prior video, or they still just don't get my stance with trying to treat my eyes or cure them. If you know me, you know that I'm not actively looking for a cure or treatment for my eyes, because I've been down that road before when I was real young, and it's kind of just, it's heartbreaking. It's really holds you back in life to reach your full potential when you just get yourself mentally into the state of wanting to be cured or fix your situation, and that cure doesn't even exist. I realized one day that I was probably born like this for a reason. There is probably a reason I have a visual impairment. And the reason why I really thought that way is because I did try to cure it at one point. I had an experimental surgery. It was a lot of pain, and yes, I could see better in terms of visual acuity for about 2 years. But my mental health deteriorated. I was really going through a tough time. And especially when one night I went to bed seeing 20/90, and I woke up the next morning and my vision was blurry. Turns out when we went to the eye doctors again, they confirmed, yeah, your vision is back around 200, or 20/200, or 20/300, depending on the eye. That's when I realized I think there's a greater reason why I have a visual impairment. And so I've made it my mission to help bring awareness to the experience of living with a visual impairment, but not just to show something interesting or different or cool, but to bring better exposure of accessibility to the mindset of thinking with universal design or access. And that is within technology, that is within entertainment for representation, that is within architecture, so that our physical spaces, whether it's conventions or buildings, are thought with everyone in mind. Because people with disabilities, you can't just find one cure and it's all fixed. It's not going to happen. The real solution, the real cure, is accessibility. It's providing ramps. It's having braille or tactile signs, or sound-based traffic signs, whatever it might be, that helps to provide universal access for different scenarios and places and mediums. And I like to share that we all benefit from accessibility in one way or another. I use some accessibility for deaf and hard of hearing people. I use some accessibility for folks that have physical disabilities. And other people use accessibility that primarily was designed or built around people who are blind or low vision. And it's cool. We can all benefit from it. So I want to help fund that. I want to help give back to that. I want to put support back into resources and nonprofits that are specifically working to make our society more accessible. Not just trying to find cures or treatments when that may never even happen. I feel like the medical model of disability is way overfunded. It's fine to fund it every once in a while, but there's plenty of support and resources for them. Whereas I feel like we have so many people, a billion people on this earth that could benefit from accessibility and resources, and more every day, whether they're born with it or happens gradually in life. We're all going to experience some form of temporary disability, and 1 in 7 of us are going to experience disability at some point in our life. Permanently. And life doesn't stop. And we can live happy, fulfilled lives. It just requires an understanding and awareness and universal access. Where I'm going with this is I created merchandise. I created a store called the See Different store, seedifferent.store. You can also go to seedifferent.co and follow the link to the store. So I created merchandise that says See Different on it as a reminder for those around me to hopefully understand alongside me that things aren't always black and white. Life is a big old grayscale. One of the key things with the See Different store is that proceeds will go to fund nonprofits, organizations, and events that aim to make resources and accessibility a part of their mission. I'm not looking to fund organizations that are just trying to find medical cures or treatments, but things that are actively providing employment, providing educational resources, or creating spaces or representation around the education of accessibility and disability. This is an ongoing thing where each month we'll give proceeds to different organizations and we'll show that as well. And I want input from you and from the community about what organizations we should support, which ones we should vet and everything to be a part of this. One of the first collections that I'm excited about on the See Different store is the dancing eye. As you know, I have nystagmus. My eyes are constantly shaking and causes this vertigo effect for me oftentimes where everything just looks like it's spinning and you know, it's a part of my vision, it's part of my identity, and I even made a short film called My Dancing Eyes. One of the things I'm excited about is we have a shirt that was designed by an artist who she has nystagmus herself, and she's visually impaired. And she's a very talented artist. I'll leave links in the description. Her name's Chelsea. I collaborated with her to create this shirt, to create a phone case where there's 2 dancing eyes. And when you rotate your phone and you're taking a photo, it's like a pair of nystagmus eyes, as well as a mug. Again, things that I love. I love coffee and tea. I love my phone, and I love this design. It's subtle, it's minimal, and it's just an eye within this like black and white, but the nystagmus is the grayscale. It's great, and it shows, even in a still image, this like sense of motion. Any purchase within that collection of the mug, the shirt, or the iPhone case will actually go towards supporting the American Nystagmus Network. And I'd love to expand that beyond other organizations internationally too that support individuals with nystagmus. This is something I'm excited to do, and I want to see how this goes, because then I want to collaborate with other artists with other disabilities so that we can create designs and create this sort of platform to support other organizations too. But this right here is the regular See Different shirt. Again, these proceeds will sort of go to support different organizations month to month, but that's it. That's the See Different show. That is the See Different store, seedifferent.co. Let me know if you end up going for anything on the See Different store, and share that on social media when it arrives, because I would love to check that out, share it, and I can't wait to start to support these organizations along with you. And together we can help others see different. That is it for now. I'll hear you next time. Bye.